All right, good morning, everyone. I've got 10 o'clock on my phone, so we're ready to roll. This is your August 14th, 2023 edition of Commissioners Court, Lavaca County Commissioners Court, and we will start with roll call. Precinct 1.
Here.
Precinct 2.
Here.
Precinct 3.
Present.
Precinct 4.
Present.
And the judge is here, so all 5 of us are here. And with that, we will start with our invocation and welcome and our invocation and pledges. Our most Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for this gathering of elected officials and community as we come together to make decisions for you, Lord. We serve under one God in the United States and in the state of Texas, both. And our national motto is, in God we trust, and Lord, that's what we do. We trust in you. So we thank you for this day, and we just pray for this governing body as we make decisions for everybody. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And now our pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Okay, does anyone have any announcements before we get started? Anybody going once, going twice? We will announce this as part of, at the end of our session, but Senior Citizens Day is going to be Friday, August 25th, 2023 at Blazes Hall. That's our Community Connections organization that they pretty much, it used to be called Meals on Wheels, but they prepare meals and they have functions for seniors to come out and have activities, but that will be Friday, August 25th, 2023, and we'll announce that again later. Anything else? Going once, going twice. All right, so I guess you're ready to start with your action. All right, this is a long agenda, so don't let it scare you. I think we can probably get through it within an hour's time. A lot of it's just technical stuff, but let's start with action item number 1, present the 2023 certified values for Lavaca County Farm to Market Road, and that is brought to us by our tax assessor collector. Good morning. You want to have a microphone? Yes, no? Let's do microphone. That's fine. You can go if you want to. Or you can sit, either one. Whichever one she prefers. Okay. It's sometimes hard to hear if you're talking from the table and not at the...
That's fine. Okay. So good morning, Judge, Commissioners. You have in your packet, excuse me, the certified appraisal roll for the county and the farm to market road. So we're going to go over the county, just a lot of numbers here, but really the most important part, the appraised value for the county this year, $4,459,059,758. Okay, that's the value, the whole value. But the taxable value is what our rate times the value will give us our levy, will give us our amount of taxes. And the taxable value for the county this year, $3,689,847,726. And it's about a 20% increase, okay, for that, the values. So then I'll go to the farm to market road. That appraised value this year, $4,441,097,641. But that leads us to the taxable value, $3,681,187,436. So basically, it's just an overview of of the values that the appraisal district has set forth. And that's really all I have for that report, just a report of your values
Okay.
this year.
Do I hear a motion to approve the reports as provided?
I'll make a motion to accept the present 2023 certified values for Lavaca County FM for the farm to market in Lavaca County.
Second.
Motion is made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3. Any other further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That report is approved. Next, we have the presentation of the 2023 no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate, also by the tax assessor collector.
Okay, so in your packet also, I have a summary.
It's on page 7 of your packet, electronic packet.
I have a summary. It looks like this. And this is what I present every year, but it's broken down by county, that's the general fund, and then the farm to market. So this year, I calculated the no new revenue rate as 0.3420 for the county. So you're looking on the top portion of this page. And I calculated the farm to market, go down further, for the no new revenue rate of 0.0961. And so if you go to your right, you'll see that revenue generated. And above the very top is your total taxable value. You see that 2023 total taxable value, which is $3,694,553,197. You'll take that value and times the rate of 0.3420 of your no new revenue rate, and I've got a revenue generated there. That's what, if the Commissioners Court vote on the no new revenue rate, we're going to get a generation of a levy of taxes of that $13,874,330. That of course is the county. You go down to the farm to market and you've got that rate times that value, and you'll have a $3,891,711 income of taxes. Okay, so then I calculated the voter approval rate, and that calculated to be 0.4137 for your county general fund, 0.0995 for your farm to market. And the income or the revenue that would be generated for your county would be $16,523,325. The revenue generated for that farm to market voter approval rate, $4,017,031. So taking into consideration, you've got your no new revenue rate, and I'm adding those together for farm to market and county. So you've got your no new revenue rate, 0.4381, and you've got your voter approval rate, 0.5132. So without going into an election, the highest rate that can be adopted would be the 0.5132. So you can adopt anywhere from the no new revenue rate up until the voter approval rate. And I will point out that last year, the court adopted 0.5239. So that is, this year's voter approval rate is lower than what y'all adopted last year.
Okay.
So that is my report for the rates this year. So the Commissioners Court will need to decide what they would like to propose.
Okay. On the report itself, is there any other further discussion?
No, sir, it's pretty self-explanatory here.
Now it's time to ask questions.
Last time, so if, on the top half, the revenue tax rate, and on the voter approval tax rate, there is a line item for debt rate. So
Yes.
if we had debt, it would be included in there as a function of the overall rate?
Yes, it would, yes. Yes, the debt rate would be a part of your M&O
Okay,
and a part of the farm-to-market rate as well.
good.
We had that up to 2020, and we paid the debt off in 2020.
Right.
Lowered that rate and zeroed that out, and we haven't turned.
We have no
looking
more
back.
debt for a couple of years now.
So
No
we
debt.
have, so we have no debt,
We
and
have
that
no
is a
debt.
really, really good thing.
It is, it's a good, great thing,
Yeah, okay.
Fantastic.
so.
Any other questions? Can I entertain a motion to accept the tax report as provided?
I so move.
Okay.
Second.
Motion by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to accept the presentation of the 2023 no new revenue tax rate and voter approval tax rate as provided by Debbie Sefcik.
Judge, I just want to bring something up. There is a constitutional amendment for this November that is proposed on the ballot. It's going to be the exemption for home exemption. Did you want to say? Yes, you already mentioned, I'm sorry, so no, everything. So you did say that? It's going to be proposed right now as a $40,000 exemption. So it's going to be on the ballot this November. It's going to be a $100,000 exemption for homesteads.
You want to add to that?
Right, so the legislature, Governor Abbott signed the bill for the $100,000 homestead exemption, okay? The values that I got from the appraisal district included that already. So with that being said, we're going, and I've calculated according to the $100,000 exemption. And the bills will go out according to that. But the election is going to be held in November, and people are going to have the right to vote for this amendment. Okay, they're going to vote for, if they're for the $100,000 exemption.
In other words, it's already in here.
So it's already in there, and with you know, the hopes that if it passes, and I see no reason why it wouldn't, then the bills are going to go out correctly. If for some reason it does not pass in November, it goes back down to the $40,000 exemption, and we will have to rebill for the difference.
Recalculate.
So,
Okay.
but yes,
Go ahead.
Sure. It's interesting to me that we want to give, you know, we want a tax cut, and yet we have to vote on it.
it's interesting, yes.
That's interesting.
And the timing, because, you know, not sure why it couldn't have taken place next year, but it didn't, and we have to deal with the repercussions if it does not pass. We'll have to spend more money to send out,
It's more interesting that they give you a break, or trying to give you a break, but they raise your values at the same time.
interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I think most people don't, well, I shouldn't say that. It's confusing that the state requires a reappraisal from the school district every 3 years. They want a new certified appraisal, and of course, the values continue to rise, and then we as local taxpayers, we're concerned and, you know, file a protest
Right?
for, and yet the state is requiring that, and yet it's fallout at the local level, and we're going to naturally point fingers at the local level and say, you're the problem, why are you doing this? And yet, if the county does not recertify those roles, the state can withhold funding from education. from the public schools. Now, that's the truth.
That
That's
is
the truth.
correct.
And so, the issue is not just at the local level.
No, it's not.
It's at the state level as well. So
Right.
I just find it interesting that the state wants to give us a tax cut, and yet we have to vote to approve that. So I guess they're telling us that that's constitutional. Constitutionally, we have to approve that type of action.
That is correct. Point taken.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Again, I had a motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the 2023 no new revenue tax rate and voter approval rate as provided. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 3, our favorite part of any year is, or probably least favorite part, is to discuss and to propose a tax rate, since we have this information provided to us. So I'll open up the floor to discussion.
Do you want to just schedule a special meeting just on this, or?
I mean, we're gonna propose a rate today, and it's not set in stone until we have a public hearing.
Right.
Unless we go no new revenue. If we have no new revenue, adopt that rate, which I don't see a reason, a possible way to do that. Then that, if we adopted no new revenue rate, we don't have to have a public hearing. But any other rate in between there is gonna have to have a public hearing, and we're proposing that to be on the 28th. But right now, the subject on line 3 is discuss and to propose the tax rate as we go forward. I will start some of the discussion off just to help you guys out. I provided the court with a graph, you kind of see right here a little bit. We have steadily been declining on our tax rate, and there's no reason why we can't continue that path. So we're going to decline our tax rate. We cannot go to we're currently at 5.2. We cannot even go to, we're forced to decline. So we have to have a declining rate, or we'd have to go to have an election, correct? Which we're not going to do that. But we have a lot of adversity, a lot of things that are facing us right now. We've got high inflation has hit the county over the last year. We haven't adjusted yet. So you guys have been beat up by diesel costs and such over the past year. Labor costs are going up across the region. The private sector, I can vouch for that. Private consultant, they've already adjusted a year ago. In the private sector, we have not. So that our budget this year is going to include those in there, adjusting Lavaca County to be more competitive with every county around us. One of the phrases that came to mind in one of our sessions in Austin was an unfunded mandate by the state means a mandated property tax. And we are not doing it. I see Cheryl Draper in the back of the room. I commend the Republican Party, and I don't guess Paul Yammerker's here today, but we've got to fight Austin. I mean, that's just plain and simple. They dump on us daily the stuff that we have to provide to our citizens or our inmates or whatever. Sheriff is here today, Becky Perez, our jailer. I mean, frustration. We've had emergency hernia surgeries we've had to provide for inmates and all kinds of stuff, and we can't let some of these people out, but we've got to pay for their surgeries. We got to keep them alive. So an unfunded mandate means a mandated property tax, and we need to do more as a county. That's across the aisle. Republicans and Democrats both to fight for what we need in our county. It's not a left or right issue. It's a property tax issue and quality of life issue for Lavaca County. All right, I'm on my soapbox, sorry. Building repairs, we've got easily, and I'm hearing reports that it could be $3 million to repair the courthouse back to its official status once we start excavating this building again. There's four areas of leaking. We're going to look for some grant funding, but we don't have it right now. Reserve funding is something that's a point of, has been a local point of contention. TAC told us, me and Wayne, in January at a meeting we were at, that they think we should have 100% funding, 100% reserves in South Texas. Seems excessive, but we're on the Gulf Coast. Our outside auditors, which have not given their report yet, correct?
We are very close to finishing.
Our outside auditors said 9 months, 75% of of our funds should be on reserve. There's a lot of rich counties around us that have quadruple that on hand. But we have to have some money. We can't live paycheck to paycheck for the county. Salaries are adjusted this year. We're adjusting salaries across the board. We did a complete overhaul in most departments. Some departments gave out positions to give us some more funding for some positions. We need contingency fundings. We have no idea what's going to affect us from year to year.
That's right.
We do not waste money in Lavaca County, I can tell you that. The only waste I can see is, I think we poured out half a pot of coffee one day. That's about the waste we have in Lavaca County. We have a very well-run auditor's office, and it does not get wasted. Priorities for me, first responders. This is going to be continuing for the next several years till we get it, and it's never finished. We have to keep working on it daily. So that's our EMS, our fire, and our sheriff's department. We have to focus on those departments and make sure that they are ready to serve all Lavaca County. Population growth, we are growing. Senator Cornyn sent his staff down to Lavaca County. I think, who was there, Kenny?
Yeah.
You sat there with me. We went to eat lunch with them. They want to know why we were going, what we were doing. They see the growth. We're in between Houston, San Antonio, Austin. We're growing. Our population does not reflect the true population. That's our voter population, maybe, or the people that filled out the census. But we have a weekend population that could be 35,000, maybe 40,000 is where we're heading. We kind of speculate we'd have a weekend population of 40,000 people not too long from now. Subdivisions, they're hitting us every single commissioner's court session. People are dividing up land for growth. So y'all can see that growth happening live and, on a weekly basis. Inmates, our jail is growing. I didn't check this morning, Sheriff, but where are we at, 35 average? 38 this morning. Yeah, we're averaging about 35 inmates, 38 this morning over the weekend. We had a long weekend with JP. We had some call-outs for inquests, death inquests. I had a juvenile detention yesterday. We had to put it, and you know, we signed those contracts for juvenile detention. The closest bed we could find was San Patricio. So we had to take a 14-year-old child there yesterday for detainment. Inmates and mandates. The state of Texas tells Sheriff Harmon and Becky how to run that jail. And we'll get to that in a minute. They run a stellar jail, and they've done a good job. They've got passed another test there. But with inmates, we're going to have increased inmates. All our surrounding counties, Gonzales is looking to build another jail. They're full. Colorado County is full. They're housing inmates other places. That's a real issue that we have to contend with right here in Lavaca. We're right here in the middle of them. Our telecom system that we installed is still got some repairs to do, and it's not up to standards yet, so we're going to have to spend some more money there. Training costs, again, mandates. Austin tells us how to train, when to train, how many hours we need of training. That's another mandated cost. It costs us money. When it comes to hiring road hands or paramedics or even possible deputies, we may have to get involved in their training. We may have to find qualified applicants and help subsidize some of their training. That's a growing trend in the private sector. So those costs are going to be increasing to Lavaca County if we want to find new hires. And all departments across the board have had a difficult time finding new hires, qualified new hires, I should say. Lastly, and probably most importantly, this is the one, as you're following along on my sheet that I gave you guys, this is the one that gets overlooked the most, and it's probably the most pressing concern in our office on a daily basis. Naylene handles these phone calls for the Commissioner's Court, for the Commissioners. Roads, roads, roads. 871 miles of road in Lavaca County, and it costs now $150,000 to pave 1 mile. That's if you do it right. We don't have that kind of money, so, and yet we've got growth coming, and the new growth, the joke in our office, I asked Naylene, what number are they calling on? It's either a 713 or 281 number typically. Lavaca County, true and true, the people that were born here, from here, understand it, but the ones moving in, they do not understand the roadways. So that's my kind of State of the Union talk basically on the court. But I think historically this this court, the last guys to get increases to their budget are the four gentlemen sitting to my left and to my right. And at some point, and it doesn't even, we can't even fix it this year, but at some point, we have to start putting money in their road funds so they can pave more roads, make them better, stronger. So with that, anyone want to propose a rate? Or you want me to propose it? I'm proposing to stick with the .5132. We go down from 5.2, I believe it was 5.132.
Is that a motion, Judge?
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second
All right. So, any other discussion? If not, the judge made a motion to move to, what was it, make sure I get the rate right.
I just want to make one
Go
comment.
ahead, go ahead.
To the constituents that do take the time to call you, that there is a problem. They'll call your office direct, they'll call Nalene or the sheriff's department. I commend them because us commissioners and road hands can't be everywhere at one time. And they understand, and we try to get it taken care of, if not that day, as soon as we can.
Most people understand, most reasonable people understand. Most reasonable people with common sense understands, but then you've got the ones, that, you know, we take those too. All right, so motion made by the judge, second by precinct 4 to propose a tax rate of .5132 for the next fiscal year.
Does that need to be broken down?
I
F&R
think
general?
you were right on that, sir.
Yes. General, you have it down, general, .4137,
Yes.
F&R .0995? Yes.
Okay. Combined tax rate.
Combined.
Yeah. Okay.
You want a show of hands on that too? Okay, so, motion is made by judge, seconded by precinct 4 to move to a total voter approval tax rate of 4.137 and a foreign FMR rate, voter approval tax rate of .0995. That gives a combined rate of .5132. Any other discussion? If not, I'll ask for a show of hands to vote for that rate. Let it be known that all 5 of us raise your hand for that rate. Motion passes. Okay, next, item number 4, discuss and approve setting a meeting / public hearing date for the Lavaca County 2023-2024 budget and tax rate. 2 weeks from today, we meet again on the 28th, and that should be our public hearing dates. That's what I propose. Any comments on that discussion?
I second that.
Okay,
I think that'll be fine, sir.
all right. So the judge made a motion to approve setting a meeting public hearing date for the Lavaca County 2023-2024 budget and tax rate to be August the 28th, 2023 at 10 a.m. Who seconded that?
Wayne?
Wayne. Second by precinct 2. And again, we'll do a show of hands on this one as well. All in favor of that date of the 28th, raise your hand. Let it be known that all 5 of us raise our hand to that date. So we will have our public hearings. The public is welcome to come and make comments if they want to. But like I said, we are declining the rate. The rate is coming down, and we hope to continue that in the coming years. And I think if we do this push right now, I think we can even decline it further. That should be our goal. All right, so that motion passes. Next, item number 5, discuss and approve contract with Rico USA Incorporated for lease on a Rico IMC 3010 copier printer scanner for 60 months. That's found on page 9 of your first packet. Do you hear a motion?
Yes.
Second.
Motion is made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2 to approve the contract with Rico USA Incorporated for lease on a Rico IMC 3010 copier printer scanner for 60 months. Any discussion?
Yes,
And-
this is,
Go ahead.
sure. This is for your office?
Yes, this is
Yes.
for my office.
Okay.
It's been 5 years since I've had my last contract, and it is up again.
Okay.
So they have presented me with the contract.
Is there a there a limit on this in terms of production, how many copies you can make, or is that,
Yeah,
is it open-ended?
it does state on the contract, I get 2,000 copies a month.
Okay. Is that about what you
Free, in
normally
other
do?
words. Yes, and then any out over that, I get charged, I think, 0.01 cents.
Like a penny? Yeah. Okay.
.0101.
So, yeah, it's, I don't want to say normal, but it's the,
That doesn't sound, you said 2,000 a month? That doesn't sound like very many
that's
for
On the
your
paper.
office.
quite a bit. I mean, yeah, it doesn't, but I had to recall him and reiterate that, yes, it's 2,000 copies a month.
Are there other options in that, in other plans? Can you take 3,000 a month, or can it adjust the?
He didn't, the gentleman did not offer me that. No.
Okay, so that's kind of their
They did-
standard.
This is what, it's increased from my last contract, so that's a good thing.
Okay.
Yeah, the copies. Yes,
Okay.
we do make a lot of copies.
Did they reiterate to you what your average is? They know, don't they?
They do, the copier's gonna keep track of, they internally keeps track of all of the copies, and anything over that, I bill for that every 3 months.
We just want to be sure you have what you need. Okay, so,
Do you have any breakdowns? Were they,
No, they come to
That's a good
service,
thing.
every 3 months or so, and if we do have problems, we call.
Good.
The gentleman is located out of Corpus, so this is his area, and they're readily available.
okay.
Your Honor, I move that we approve a contract with, is it Rico?
Rico,
Rico USA Incorporated for lease on Rico IMC 3010 copier printer scanner for 60 months.
Okay.
I second.
Motion made by precinct 1, seconded by precinct 2 to approve the contract with Rico USA. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 6, discuss, enter, approve Texas DMV imposition and optional fees for calendar year 2014. That's found on page 14.
Judge, basically, I think this is just our road and bridge fee that we charge.
Been doing that.
Correct?
Correct,
Correct.
$10 road bridge fee, that's tacked onto every registration.
Right.
So if
right.
there's no change, we do option A.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Your Honor, I move that we approve Tex DMV imposition of optional fees for calendar year 2024, and we use option A, no change.
Okay.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, seconded by precinct 3 to approve the Texas DMV imposition of optional fees for calendar year 2024, option A, which means no change. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 7 can be found on page 16. Discuss and approve unclaimed property capital credits for counties. I'm going to have to ask for some forgiveness on this one. This came in late to us, and we had to sign it last week, or we would lose it. The monies that this collected in this fund through capital credits, last year it went to several places, but it will go to Norma's house this year. It's not much, but we were in the judge's office was forced to a deadline that we didn't know it was there, and that's something that's reoccurring. I don't know if we've had some email glitches. Some things get sent to Mark Meyer's old address, and then by the time it catches up to us, we're under the gun, and we had a 3-week window here before court. But this is capital credits, electric companies that have lost contact with a previous customer and can't claim them. They have some money they can give back to a charitable cause. It has to go through our county to a charity of our choosing. And after talking with some of you personally, individually, we went with Norma's house.
Yes.
Okay.
Saying,
All
or
right.
Normal's house.
So do I hear a motion to approve this in court?
I'll make a motion to approve unclaimed property capital credits for the county.
Second.
Second. Okay. Motion is made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve the unclaimed property capital credits for counties. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, number 8, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Rhonda G. Wilson. That's found on page 18 of your packet, packet 1.
Yes, this is actually, I think it's 2 pieces of property along County Road 135. And they meet our, what's the proper term you told me last time? They meet our requirements for exemption.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I move that we approve
there's 2 tracks.
certificate exemption, 2 tracks from subdivision requirements for Rhonda Wilson.
Okay, and they both, I'm looking here, they both have road frontage on 135?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and they're both over 2.5 acres, which, okay. All right,
2 point, yes.
okay, so I'll entertain a motion. Did you make a motion?
Yes.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Rhonda G. Wilson. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 9, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gilbert and Evelyn Mozashek, and that's out of precinct 1, found on page 28. And I think
This is another piece of property. Actually, we talked about it at the last meeting. They do have a deeded, I hate to use the term easement, but I believe that's what it's called. And they would be
they have a private
family
road.
property. They have a private road and a deeded easement to the 2 pieces of property, so they are exempt from our requirements also.
Okay.
So I move that we approve a certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gilbert and Evelyn Moshe.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gilbert and Evelyn Mozashek. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. I do want to add, I did talk to Ms. Carpenter on this, so she knew about this agreement. She didn't know why this was taking so much time in court. She had signed an agreement, so
Right.
they just didn't present us the agreement.
Okay.
So they found it. But I think we need to probably, when we go back into our subdivision regulations this fall, needs to address that. If you're going to have a private road, you need to have an agreement with all your neighbors using that road. Who's going to maintain it? It's
Right.
basically, the state was saying that we have to have an HOA,
Yes.
and that's what you're doing. This private road easement is basically a homeowners association agreeing how they're going to maintain that road. So,
And basically, if we're gonna do some family dividing, I think we need to come up with a form to, get, where we don't have to do a subdivision exemption all the time.
possibly, but I do think even families need agreements.
Oh, yeah.
Because, some of the biggest disputes are with families. Okay, number 10, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gerard A. Yanak on County Road 369 and FM 1891. That's out of precinct 3, found on page 37.
Basically, he's dividing, his uncle's farm he inherited, which runs along 1891 and down a good length of County Road 369. He's just dividing this tract of land up into 3 separate places for his kids. And they're all averaging about 16 and a half acres apiece.
And all will have road frontage.
And they all have road frontage, one way or another.
Okay?
So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gerard A. Yanak, County Road 369 and FM 1891.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gerard A. Yanak on County Road 369 and FM 1891. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 11, discuss and approve certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gerard A. Yanak on Highway 90A.
Yes, sir.
That's page 46.
Basically, he is giving to one of his kids, it's a 3-acre tract. He's giving the acreage, 1 acre, to one of his kids, and it comes off of Highway 90A, so he'll have to deal with the state on an entrance. But I believe he will have a lane going, his private lane going back to the back 2 acres, what I can see here.
I don't have a
if you want to look at this. He's granting that right off of Highway 90.
So you have a 2.1 acres in front,
Right, now 1 acre in front.
and then who's got the lane?
Yes, you see that right there, that's gonna be a lane, so he can keep going back on the back of his property.
Okay, so the lane is for his access?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
okay. You want, y'all have that map too?
I think they got that map.
Yeah, you would do.
It did not show up on mine.
Any questions, Phil? One?
So do you have, is that a
I'm gonna make a motion to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gerard Ayanock, Highway 98.
Second.
motion was made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4 to approve the certificate of exemption from subdivision requirements for Gerard A. Yannick on Highway 90A. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That motion passes. Number 12, discuss and approve the governor's proclamation renewal for border crisis. That's found on page 49. I'm not going to read the proclamation. Basically, the governor, if you remember, back in, I think it was June, he updated his proclamation. He did another one on the 31st, recently. And I think he included some counties or so. But anyway, I'll entertain a motion to approve the governor's proclamation renewal for border crisis.
I'll make a motion to approve the governor's proclamation renewal of border crisis.
Second.
Motion is made by precinct 4, second by precinct 2 to approve the governor's proclamation for renewal for border crisis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Again, there's lots of activity right now. This is, funding cycles for Operation Lone Star. I know, we put in, the sheriff has put in his renewal for Operation Lone Star funding, and we're kind of gearing up for the next round of funding and attack on the border, or defense, I would say. Defensive, how do we defend ourselves? Okay, item number 13, discuss and award belly dump trailer bids for precinct 4, and it's found on page 51.
Yes, I went out for bids for 2 belly dump trailers 2-3 weeks ago. Have bids in, and I will read them out. Bid number 1720 Performance Trucks. The bid was $102,066.90. Aria Contract and Sales Service, bid number 1721. The total bid was $105,432. Alamo City Trailers, bid number 1722. Total bid was $91,280. Phoenix Contracting LLC, bid number 1723. Total bid $99,750. Certified Stainless Service, total bid number 1724. Total bid is $114,161.90. And I will like to award this bid, and I will make that a motion for Alamo City Trailers, bid number 1722, for a total of $91,280.
Second that.
And I would just add that's for 2 trailers.
That is for 2 trailers.
So $45,640 each.
Yes.
Okay. Almost. Who made the motion?
Dennis did, and I seconded it.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3, to award the belly dump trailer bids for precinct 4 to Alamo City Trailers, bid number 1722, for a total cost of $91,280, which comes out to be $45,640 per trailer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Judge, if I could
Yes, sir.
make a comment.
Sure.
It's interesting to me that we go for bids like this, and we see a variance of about $15,000 from high to low, and how important that is, and that's the marketplace, and we get the best option available, and so it's good to see that.
And it's a good thing that they're close.
Yeah.
Dennis had bids from California to Florida.
Oh, wow.
All right. Moving right along, number 14, discuss and approve division order between ROCC Oil and Gas LP and Lavaca County on the Puck A1H and C3H wells.
I make a motion that we approve item number 14, the division order between our Ranger Oil and Gas in Lavaca County, Puck A1H, C3H.
Second.
Motion is made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the division order between ROCC Oil and Gas LP and Lavaca County. That's on the Puck A1H and C3H wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. I will preface, I did have the county attorney review these 14 and 15 contracts to make sure that they were okay. So he did do that last week. Okay, number 15, same thing. Discuss and approve division order between ROCC Oil and Gas LP and Lavaca County. That's on the Carbonite A1H and Carbonite B2H and Carbonite C3H wells.
And I recommend that we approve the division order between the ROCC Oil and Gas LP in Lavaca County, Carbonite A1H, Carbonite B2H, Carbonite C3H.
Second.
Motion is made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1, to approve the division order between ROCC Oil and Gas LP and Lavaca County, and that's on the Carbonate A1H, Carbonite B2H, and Carbonite C3H wells. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Thank you.
Your Honor, if I could just, it's my understanding that this order, what we're doing here, the Ranger Oil wants our approval, Baytech Oil wants our approval. This is for the mineral rights that lie under county roads that are regarding these tracts of land that have been, I guess, established for a lease. And so this is just the oil company wants our approval. They only need 65% of the signatures of the landowners in order to do this, but they want the county's approval, and so they submit this to us. And so it's a benefit to us.
Absolutely. Okay, shifting gears on number 16. 16 will start your new your second package, packet 2. Let me go ahead and acknowledge that, and then I'll find my package. I can find my package. Okay, agenda item number 16, discuss and approve supplemental insurances, which is life, cancer, critical illness, long and short-term disability, etc. The
Good
auditor has the
morning.
floor.
Yeah, good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Good morning, Auditor.
Friendly County Auditor here.
Friendly auditor.
Thank you.
Some days.
You say so.
Mondays.
Jonathan Davis with Foundation Benefits was not able to be here today. He is our broker that takes care of our supplemental insurances, such as voluntary life, short-term and long-term disability, critical illness, accident and hospital indemnity. I'll make this short and sweet. There's some proposed benefit changes that he has come up with. We have some all-state plans right now that we're going to cancel. It's mainly life and cancer policies. The billing for that for Allstate has become cumbersome and just not efficient for us. Plus, their pricing has increased. If there are any employees that have any of the cancer or life through Allstate and they wish to continue their policies, they can do so, but it'll have to be on their own, like ACH, through their own checking account. There will be no more payroll deductions. We're going to cancel all of our Sun Life policies as well, because the vendor that we're going to start, or if it's approved, the vendor that we'll use offers better pricing and better benefits for the employees. and you'll be able to see that in the few pages behind. The new vendor is Reliant Matrix. If you will turn to probably page 3, you can see that voluntary life, the current Sun Life policy, and the Reliance policy is going to be significantly cheaper. At the bottom, where you can see the difference in for an employee that is less than 29 or less than 29 years old. With Sun Life, they have a renewal rate of $7.45, whereas with Reliance, it'll be $6.90. And that's on a $50,000 coverage. And then you can see that it's just cheaper for any of the other age groups. If you'll go to the next page, short-term disability, and also long-term disability.
Back up another page, please.
Okay,
You don't want to look at it too hard, is it?
Do what? I'm looking
When
at
it
the-
gets past
I'm
that
looking
age
at the
group
old-
there.
old folks, you know.
the old folks,
That age group there, we don't want to look
They
at
go to
that.
55 to 59.
right?
What's after that?
I guess they don't offer it anymore. No, I don't, that I can't, he only gave those rates. I can't answer that question.
Okay.
That's what I was saying.
They'll offer it to you, but he
They
didn't.
don't want us no
He
more.
didn't illustrate those.
They don't want us no more.
But it is there.
It's over here?
It's up there.
70
He just didn't put
plus.
it as an illustration. Yeah, that's the rate.
Okay.
Yeah, it gives you the rates, it just doesn't give you an example cost of $50,000 coverage.
Oh, back up.
That ain't right.
No, it's not back up. Yeah, it's
What are you
here.
looking at, Puskey? You're always the one that wants a short and sweet
$3.19.
presentation.
Well,
It's $3.
I would
So,
like to know what I'm,
So, and those are per $1,000 coverage rates.
Correct.
Okay, so that's $3.19 in per thousand. So 100,000 would cost $313.
$313
Correct.
a month.
A month. Yeah,
Better to croak? No.
yeah.
Thank you.
Okay? Short-term, long-term. You will see the difference between Sun Life and Reliance. For short-term, there is a increase in the rate, if you see the example at the bottom, with an employee making $15 an hour. That's just an example. But if you look at the long-term policy, the Reliance costs are significantly less. So when you join the two, you're getting an offset of a better rate.
Yeah, significantly, like 25%.
Yes. Now, if the court wants to stay with Sun Life with short term, I guess we can do that. I'm proposing to go with Reliance across the board.
Is there an opportunity in the future to visit with a representative to?
Jonathan will be here in 2 weeks,
Okay,
and he will be here for 3 days. There will be some information going out from our office, probably by the end of this week,
okay.
for employees to visit with him.
There's, the devil's always in the details. That's not really the question. And these things all match, so there's no discrepancy between what's being offered, in my opinion. But I would like the opportunity to understand some of the definitions that I'm seeing here
Yes.
in terms of the disability.
He will be better at answering those questions when he's here in
Sure.
person.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Do you have any questions on short-term, long-term? Puska? Commissioner One?
I pass.
Okay, you go to the last page. This is where your critical illness, accident, and hospital indemnity policies between Sun Life and Reliance are quoted. And again, Reliance comes in significantly less when you look at the rates.
So is this like an AD&D, probably accidental death? and
Yes.
Dismemberment?
I
Is that
believe
what
so. I
that- is that
believe
what
it's
that-
a dismemberment policy. He just put accident on here, but I think it's a dismemberment as well.
Okay. Yeah, probably need to clarify that with him as well, but anyway, just, it looks good.
Is the auditor proposing us moving to Reliance
I-
on all items?
I propose the court approves the Reliance vendor for all policies, supplemental policies, which would be voluntary life, short-term, long-term disability, critical illness, accident, and hospital indemnity.
Okay. Do I hear a motion or any other discussion?
What do you think, your two? You like it?
Yes,
You
yes.
do?
Absolutely.
Hey, you're the insurance.
We got a motion?
Yes, that's the motion. I recommend that we adopt the changes that the auditors proposed regarding the benefits package.
Okay.
Second.
That's moving to Reliance, correct?
Yes.
Okay, motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1 to approve the supplemental, moving to Reliance as our provider of supplemental insurance for life, cancer, critical illness, long and short-term disability, etc. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Shana. Appreciate your hard work, especially during this budget season.
Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you.
Oh, you did all the work? Okay. Next one, item number 17, acknowledge the certificate of compliance to the Lavaca County Jail. Anybody from the jail want to say anything? That'll be found on page, packet 2, page 5.
Good morning, Your Honor, Commissioners.
Good morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Sheriff. As y'all know, the state of Texas requires that all county jails in the state be inspected every year to be in compliance with a set of minimum rules or standards. We were inspected on June 27th, and we were found to be in compliance with the jail standards. I will let you know that the jail inspector that inspected the facility was very impressed with the cleanliness of the facility, and stated that in all his travels around the state, it's one of the cleanest jails that he's inspected. He did make a note after reviewing the Lavaca County Jail medical files, and the inspector found suicide screening forms were filed with detailed information and that had been recorded by the jail staff. This allows the magistrate the ability to get these people the needed mental health care that they need when they're displaying or in a mental crisis. As y'all know, the mental health situation today is very critical, and a lot of these people that are in jail, they don't need to be in jail, they need mental treatment. So he was really impressed with the jail staff's ability to recognize these people that are in crisis and try to get them the help they need. I will say that the jail administrator, Becky Perez, does an excellent job, and she has a very well-trained staff in the back, and we have some long-tenured employees back there, and they do a great job. But most of all, we couldn't do the job that we do without the support of the Commissioner's Court, and we appreciate everything that y'all do for us.
We thank you as well, and we never really addressed the court. We had 2 different meetings. We went to tour the jail on 2 different groups of people. We had so many on the first group, and very eye-opening, to say the least, and very clean and so forth. I would say that's the most thing. I think it was great for us to see what it takes to run a 35 average hotel. Basically, it's a hotel, and they don't get to leave. Right. And you got to feed them three square meals. So thank God for what you do. That visit on the 27th, that was a surprise visit.
Yes, that was an unannounced
Unannounced?
inspection, yes. So he just popped in that day. Matter of fact, I was out of town when he came in, and so I didn't know he was coming. They had district court, I believe, going on, so it was quite the surprise when he showed up, but he found everything in order.
Very good. Well, thank y'all for what you do, and
Thank you all for the
we
support.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, sir. Pass it on to your people, we appreciate what they do. And after this, I'll go ahead and make a motion to acknowledge the certificate of compliance to the Lavaca County Jail.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3, to acknowledge the certificate of compliance to the Lavaca County Jail from a surprise inspection on June 27th, 2023. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion passes. All right, next, number 18, accept the monetary donation of $150 from James and Sandra Mullen to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Department as unbudgeted revenue. You want to say anything on that, Sheriff?
Yes, sir. We'd like to thank James and Sandra Mullen for that donation. They wrote that donation. Deputy Doug Mundine responded to a call for them. They were very impressed with his professionalism and also his compassion for what they were dealing with. And they were so impressed that they felt like they wanted to give a donation in his name. So we thank them very much for that donation.
Awesome. With that, I entertain a motion.
Yes. Second.
Motion made by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to accept the monetary donation of $150 from James and Sandra Mullen to the Lavaca County Sheriff's Department as unbudgeted revenue. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you. All right, number 19, discuss and approve the increase in juror pay as per House Bill 3476 for the 25th Judicial District and the 2nd Judicial District and County Courts of Lavaca County. And with that, we have our lovely Lori Winsky.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners.
Good morning, Lori.
So, the new legislature, they passed this House Bill 3474, and there's a lot of stuff regarding jurors and a lot in the bill. But what's affecting our office, my office, and the county clerk's office, and JP's too, the juror pay is increasing. Right now, the first day is 15, and any day after is 40. And now with this new bill, and I think in y'all's packet, I just put like the first page of the bill, and then it skips to page 76 where it talks about that. So for the first day, it's not less than 20. And then any day thereafter, the second day, it's not less than 58. So basically, those are the minimums. If, you can go higher, but currently, like I said, we're 15 and 40. So wanted to bring it to the court's attention that it's now going to be a minimum of 20 and then 58. So I guess we need to discuss what our
Right.
amounts will be.
And for the court's record, COVID slammed the court back with no trials were taking place, but the trials are back and active again.
Yes,
So,
very active.
we've had 3 trials in county court. I don't know how many trials y'all have had this year.
Several, yes,
Several.
several.
So
And then,
trials are back in action. It will cost us more money to have trials.
right.
So do you have a recommendation?
I mean, from what other district clerks were proposing, I think we were at 6, and what was it, a couple years ago, we went to 15 for the first day. But other counties looked like they were gonna do the 20. Some of them, I guess the bigger counties will pay cash, and so it was easier accounting-wise to go to 60 for the second day, but our system is, we send a check out to the jurors that appear to serve.
Okay.
And so, I think this is great for the jurors, because it's a good increase. So, I'm of the opinion, and I know the county clerk and I, we're the 20 and the 58 sounds fair to us,
That's-
so.
That's what
Because
it's more than what we were doing now.
And
Yes.
like she said, there are some of the bigger counties that are doing the $60.
I mean, it's not,
And they're doing it for easier handling of the money because, it's just easier to
Yeah.
implement.
it's not great paid, but it's,
Right, but the
No, but I-
increase is great.
Well, but I will say, I think what it'll do is, that would encourage people, rather than just to discard their notice, they might think, well, hey, I'm not doing anything, I may as well,
that's,
put myself out there for selection of a juror. So, anyway,
An increase is good. I was just doing looking on, researching, and I think they said there were, how many how many states in, I think it was 6 states increased juror pay. So I thought that was interesting that there were 6 states, and like I said, the minimum was 6, I believe, for the first day, which is, it's like $6 these days. What, I mean, you can't even get you, maybe you can get a coffee, and that's it.
Just
So-
as a point of clarification, where are those funds appropriated from?
Those funds, we have like a general jury, district court, county court, like a court fund that come, it's not like out of our individual budgets, it's the county that,
The county provides that.
Right.
Limit general fund that we pay out of there, and then the money
General
that
fund?
you get reimbursed goes
there is,
Lori, there is a reimbursement too from the state.
there is a
right?
reimbursement, and that is also going up, it looks like, it says, the state shall reimburse the county $14 a day for the reimbursement paid, and then 52 for like the second day. So there is a reimbursement.
Okay.
So every quarter, the treasurer gives me a form to fill out, and so they do get reimbursed. The ones who appear the second day, so the county does.
This time, because now we're paying 15 and not getting reimbursed for anything.
Right,
Oh, wow.
We're paying 20, we'll be getting 14 back.
right.
That's
So-
significant.
And there are, it'll be a little more, I guess, paperwork for us, just because more people appear on the first day, and then you pick the jury. So when we do the reporting, like now, it was just, a minimum, like either 12 or 14 that we got reimbursed for, so now we'll get reimbursed. It'll be more, which is great, so, in bigger amounts.
Just for clarity, I know we have at least 2 potential murders going to trial, at least 2, and there may be more, so,
Yeah, so we have our next jury trial is September the 25th, and so these new amounts will go into effect. And then just a FYI, the age exemption is going up to 75. So,
Oh, so they're
Still got a
they're
chance.
extending that?
yes, because it was 70 and now it's going to be 75.
but doesn't mean you can't serve, you can still be
You
76
can
and
still,
serve.
you can be 80 and you can still serve.
You can waive your
But
exemption,
you
you can waive
can,
that,
yes. So just
Okay,
a FYI.
Madam Auditor, you've got that covered. Shayna, you got that covered in the budget? Of course, I see, of course.
Thank you for your presentation.
Sure, thank you all very much.
And I'll make a motion to approve the increase in jury pay as per House Bill 3476 for District, the 25th Judicial District, 2nd Judicial, boy, that Bohemian's getting in hand, District and County Courts, Lavaca County, with the first day of $20, and after that, $58.
I'll second that.
Okay. Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3. Any other discussion?
Yes, sir, just a technical correction. It's House Bill 3474.
Is it 3474?
Yes,
Yes, it is, you're
3474.
right, yes. And then while you're saying that, and it should be
Yeah.
2nd 25th Judicial District in the, second 25th Judicial, yes, you're right. So that is House Bill 3474.
Sounds like you worked in this Capitol or something before. Sir?
So and just to clarify, so we'll do the minimums, the
The correction. to
20 and the
motion.
58.
Okay, correction, you corrected the motion?
Correct.
All right. Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to approve the increase in juror pay as per House Bill 3474 for the 25th Judicial District and the 2nd 25th Judicial District and the county courts for Lavaca County. And that rate to be the minimums of $20 for the first day, $58 for the second day. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. The motion passes.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Lord, for what y'all do. All right, number 20, discuss and approve 6 months temporary contract grant with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid, and that came hot off the presses a while ago. We just got that in. It's been on this docket for some time. I did read through it. Where's that? There it is. I'll start the discussion on that. Basically, we're going into the Victoria region. Victoria's creating a new indigent defense. We were awarded that grant. That grant will kick off at the first of this fiscal year. It won't ramp up. We have to hire attorneys and get that set up. So what the Texas Indigent Defense Commission has done has provided us some temporary funding for 6 months to continue with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid until that grant gets to kick in. So this is a mini grant, so to speak, of 6 months. And by the way, the Texas Indigent Defense Commission, they are wonderful to deal with. It's just like having a second partner helping us with some of these issues with finding attorneys. So with that, I ask, I entertain a motion to,
Right here, for the 6 months, it's gonna be $186,496
no, our portion,
No.
go ahead.
total. And the TDC portion is gonna be $124,337, and it'll cost the county $62,159.
That's typical. Now, if you look up to the right, here's just the 6 months. We're
Right.
just doing 6 months, so it's TDIC is 124, and we're 62,000.
Right.
Okay. So typically, we've been paying, what, 120,000?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
believe somewhere in that range.
124.
We've been paying 120, the state has been paying 240 of that match. And so what we're asking for is 6 months, and they're granting that, so we're going to get helped out there.
Okay.
So with that, I entertain a motion.
I'll make, so moved.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to approve the 6 months temporary contract with Texas Rio Grande Legal Aid. Any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. All right, moving right along, we should get out in the next 20 minutes. Number 21, declare items on Exhibit A from the county clerk's office as surplus property, and that's found on packet 2, page 15, I believe.
It consists of 4 printers, a monitor, a keyboard, mouse, 2 computers, 3 sets of speakers, and a stand-up desk. Correct? I'm not gonna go through the long serial
Do I
number.
hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4, to declare items on Exhibit A from the county clerk's office as surplus property, and that will be provided on Exhibit A. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 22, this is 22 and 23 or further from, if you recall the last court session where we had a bunch of contracts to go over for juvenile detention. So this is 2 more contracts. And again, we're having a hard time finding space. We're going all the way out to Brownwood in some of these. Okay, item number 22, discuss and approve contract for secure long-term and short-term residential service of juvenile offenders between Lavaca County Juvenile Probation and Center for Success and Independence at Rockdale Youth Academy. And that's found on page, packet 2, page 17. Do I have a motion?
Yes.
Second?
Motion by precinct 1,
Yes.
second by precinct 2. And a motion by precinct 1, second by precinct 2, to approve the contract for secure long-term and short-term residential service of juvenile offenders between Lavaca County Juvenile Probation and Center for Success and Independence at Rockdale Youth Academy. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Again, same thing, this is the Brownwood facility. Discuss and approve contract for secure long-term and short-term residential service of juvenile offenders between Lavaca County Juvenile Probation and Rite of Passage Gulf Coast Trade Center and Rite of Passage residential service facilities, including Lake Granbury Youth Services, Texas Monarch Academy for Girls, and the Oaks of Brownwood location.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3, to approve the contract for secure long-term and short-term residential service of juvenile offenders between Lavaca County Juvenile Probation and Rite of Passage Gulf Coast Trade Center and Rite of Passage residential service facilities, including Lake Granbury Youth Services, Texas Monarch Academy for Girls, and the Oaks at Brownwood. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. That contract passes. All right, next we have, number 24, we've got a couple of resolutions to pass here. And the first one's going to be found on page, packet 2, page 105. It's way down there, 105. And Aileen, thank you for getting all this in order. This is a lot of information. Okay, number 24 is discuss and approve resolution to recognize Women's Equality Day as a national day of celebration. And this was brought to us by the League of Women Voters. And I'll read that proclamation at this time. Whereas women in the United States have continuously worked to gain full rights and privileges, both public and private, legal or institutional, as citizens of the United States, and whereas women in every state have worked to secure women's right to vote, and whereas Congress has designated August 26th as the date the 19th Amendment was certified as Women's Equality Day, and whereas recognizing Women's Equality Day as a day of celebration throughout the county, it emphasizes the importance of women's work for free and fair elections. Now therefore be it resolved that the Lavaca County Commissioners Court recognizes Women's Equality Day as August 26th as a national day celebrating the importance of the women's suffrage movement and the work to secure and expand equal rights.
Your Honor, I move that we approve the resolution to recognize Women's Equality Day as a national day of celebration.
Second.
Motion made by precinct 2, second by precinct 1. Any discussion, comments of any kind? Actually, if there's any comments.
Thank you, ladies.
If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
If all those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much, and thank you, Janice Richardson. I think you're still president of that organization. Is that correct? Thank you for all your hard work. I know you you get election packets from a neutral perspective. Is that correct? Thank you for all you do, and it's you know, sometimes I think we take a lot of things for granted. Life is moving so fast, we forget where we came from and what happened in the past to get here. And even we've got Cheryl Draper in the back of the room. She's leader of our Republican Party here in town. The Democratic Party chair is Carol Brinsfield. And women are leading and driving the narrative of politics, and it's just, we take it for granted a lot of times, but it's neat to see. So thank you for what you do. We appreciate it. All right, number 25 is our last resolution. Discuss and approve declaring August 25th, 2023 as Senior Citizens Day in Lavaca County. And that was brought to us by our Community Connections Director. I don't think Becky's here today. She was going to be out of town, but I wanted to get this proclamation out. Excuse me. Proclamation reads, whereas National Senior Citizens Day recognizes seniors who have spent their lives contributing to society and have impacted our lives for the better, whereas improved health care has changed the demographics and increased productivity of older citizens, allowing them to be more active than ever before, whereas many senior citizens now have increased opportunities to begin second careers and are leading examples for younger generations, whereas the country's foundation and stable sectors are the direct result of the hard work of our senior community, and seniors deserve our sincere gratitude. These men and women are grandparents who enrich our families with their love and guidance. They are also neighbors who support our businesses, churches, schools, and local charities, and they are veterans who remind us that the peace and freedom are great yet precious blessings won at a very high price and kept by the vigilant and the brave. Now I, County Judge Keith Mudd, do hereby proclaim Friday, August 25th, 2023 Day as National Senior Citizens Day in Lavaca County. And with that, I'd entertain a motion.
So moved. Second.
Motion is made by precinct 3, second by precinct 4. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That motion passes. And again, that Senior Citizens Day will be celebrated Friday, August 25th, 2023 at Blazes Hall. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. There's games, prizes, silent auctions, exhibits, so forth. And a lunch is going to be 11:30 to 1 p.m. You do have to RSVP to the luncheon. So anyway, thank you, Becky, for heading up our Community Connections Center. Okay, anything else of the court? If not, we'll move into our consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to accept the consent agenda.
Second.
I've got precinct 3 first. Motion made by precinct 4, second by precinct 3 to move into consent agenda. All those in favor of moving into consent, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. We are now in consent. Our microphones will go off until we're finished signing paperwork. now out of consent. Is there any other business of the court?
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Motion was made by precinct 2, seconded by precinct 1 to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. We are adjourned. Thank y'all for attending today.